Am I the asshole? For making my husband kick his brother out after he made our daughter cry on purpose? Removed. What's most concerning is your brother-in-law lying to his brother about what he actually did. In addition to him being a toddler, he's also untrustworthy. You need to have that conversation with your husband. Not the asshole. He took a toy from a toddler because apparently her being upset was amusing to him, or he'd have stopped the first time she expressed distress over his behavior. He caused his own problems here. And you definitely want to enforce that when your daughter is uncomfortable with someone doing something they should have her permission to do and don't, she needs her parents to back her up that it isn't okay for people to do that to her, even if they're relatives who claim they're just having fun or being affectionate. Not the asshole. With how easily he lies, I wouldn't leave him alone with your kid. Not the asshole. Anyone who makes a kid cry just for the fun of it isn't someone you want around kids, especially not your kids. You didn't overreact at all. Emo, you handled this well. Not the asshole. You don't joke like that to a 2-year-old. It quite literally is one of the worst things that could happen for a toddler because they haven't experienced many bad things. It really feels like the end of the world to them even if it's small potatoes to us. Not the asshole. What sort of adult purposely makes a toddler cry? That's just abhorrent. And then he had the gall to lie about it. Glad you and your husband kicked him to the curb. He deserved it. Not the asshole. Your Bill bullied and tormented a toddler to tears because he thought it was funny. It's pathetic that this grown man gets a kick out making a 2-year-old girl cry on purpose. Even more so that he lied and tried to blame you for anything. Absolutely not the asshole, he's the big one. Can't believe he actually enjoyed making fun of her niece and making her upset. It speaks volumes what kind of person he is, one I wouldn't want to be around. Don't be upset, you absolutely did the right thing. How old is this adult that purposely made a very young toddler cry by keeping her favorite bear security item from her? Not a good thing. Does he torture puppies and kittens too? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. If he was just joking he wouldn't have accused you of lying about it. I don't understand why adults like to antagonize children. It messes with their ability to trust the adults in their life. Not the asshole. He even had the nerve to lie about it. Not the asshole. That kind of messing around with a child's emotions can lead to trust issues and is just blatantly disrespectful. You did the right thing sticking up for her, keep sticking up for her and encourage her to do the same for herself. Not the asshole. Bill can stay away for good as far as I am concerned. Not the asshole. You set a boundary for your child with an adult because you're her mother and you know her. He proceeded to stomp all over it and upset her and by default, you. What a piece of work. I'd have a talk with your husband and have him talk to the brother explaining why that was wrong and that kind of behavior won't be accepted in the future. You definitely did the right thing and are teaching her that she doesn't need to put up with other people's crap. Not the asshole. Dude knew what he did was wrong. If he's going to disrespect your daughter in her own home he should leave. Not the asshole. What kind of person purposely makes a toddler cry? And he made a point of continuing when you told him to stop. He was a guest in your house, your rules. The cherry on the top of all of this is that he lied about the whole thing to your husband. All this tells me that your Bill is not a good person, not someone you would want around your child. Not the asshole. Who the FK makes a 2-year-old cry, then lies about it? Other than another 2-year-old? Not the asshole. Exact opposite of one. Kudos for sticking up for your daughter. There's very little that needs to be said about this because what kind of an adult antagonizes a toddler? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You're creating a boundary for how he should treat your daughter. Good for you. He probably thought he was being funny, but you asking him to stop, plus the crying should have ended it. I hope you show your husband these comments. Boundaries matter. Good on you and your husband for protecting your daughter. Yep, nope. Not the asshole. I would have taken his phone and his wallet, just because they're my new BFFs now, and what's he gonna do about it? Feel bad? Ooh, too bad. Sighs. Petty daydreaming? Never mind me, you handled it perfectly. Your Bill is he has a teasing fetish and your children will hate him for it. He is not joking or fooling around. He was causing your children, a 2-year-old, fear, anxiety and more. Stop teasing children. Not the asshole. Who the fuck thinks it's fun to make a small child cry? What the fuck is wrong with people? I am happily child-free, but it enrages me the way people treat children like their emotions aren't real and they are tiny punching bags. Stop being horrible to kids, they are people too. AITA. Not the asshole. Bro-in-law needs to pick on somebody his own size instead of upsetting and scaring a small child. Young children get scared and worried really easily, because they don't have the life experience to understand that things will be okay. My kid was a bawling wreck when Cinderella's gown turned back into rags, for heaven's sake. When they're distressed, you react with concern and empathy. You don't troll them FFS. If you hadn't, you would have taught your daughter that she is unsafe with someone in her family, and that you will allow her to be bullied. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Since he is your brother's husband, maybe he pulled the same shit with your husband lying and tormenting him. Maybe your husband just knows better and it's not the first time your Bill did it to others. Don't feel bad about it. People who are okay with making little kids cry on purpose are not someone you want around. Who cares if he is family if he can't act like he is? Not the asshole. The protectiveness I feel towards my 3-year-old's beloved Lovey she has carried everywhere the last 2 years is up there with the protectiveness I feel for my own child. She loves it. I love it by extension. This post made my blood boil. Husband needs to explain to Bill that his behavior was not appropriate. Not the asshole. Toddlers cry about stupid shit all the time, but this was just downright mean. AITA. Not only was he deliberately tormenting a 2-year then lied too. Not the asshole to protect your child. Your Bill may not realize that what he did was really upsetting to a 2-year-old. He probably thought he was playfully teasing her, but she's too young for that. Explain it to him. He may just be clueless, not an ah. He gets his joy from causing others distress and calls it humor. Nobody else agrees with it being humorous. Wish you were my mom. I'm totally blind. As a toddler I had a bunch of little people toys. They lived in a sand pail. One night, my dad found the bucket on the floor. He opened the door to the wood stove, shook the bucket and told me he threw them in the fire, talking about how the colored plastic was melting. I started crying and my mom told me he didn't burn them. But she didn't make him stop. That was 30 years ago and I still remember. You're a good parent. Not the asshole. He's obviously the kid there, not your daughter. Not the asshole. I have an old favorite stuffed animal and if some guy did this to me and wouldn't give it back I'd get upset at 30 years old Lamau. He likes to tease people for fun and teaching your daughter that's not cool right away is the best course of action. Not a joke as no one else laughs, unamused face, pathetic. Not the asshole. Who gets off on bullying a toddler? AITA. Adults who make kids cry on purpose have something wrong in their heads. Not the asshole. Honestly, it sounds like he set it up on purpose to try to push a wedge between you and your husband, but it backfired. Kudos to you for sticking up for your kid. Kudos to your husband for having your back. What gets me here is that your Bill lied. What is that about? He made a little girl cry and took this way too far. But there is something going on here with how he is behaving. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. No means no. You're trying to teach your daughter that. Her clearly twisted uncle is no exception. Pretty worrisome that a grown-ass man doesn't understand that no is a complete sentence. Not the asshole. It would be one thing if he was just kidding around and stopped once he noticed she was upset, but if this is how he treats his own niece, get him out of there. Not the asshole. And he's lucky you didn't attack him because how dare he bully a 2-year-old and then call you a liar for mentioning this to your husband. He obviously is a bully and you just happened to witness it. I'd keep him away from my child. Not the asshole. Don't be a dick to a stranger is one of my main rules. Being a dick to a toddler is straight up you gotta go level of offense. It's not funny to torment a child, it's just terrible. Not the asshole. I hate humans. If Ops not embellishing or omitting any info, not saying I don't trust Ops narrative, I'm well aware that shitty people exist. Your Bill is a complete on trying to ruin your family for his own benefits. He's clearly manipulative and a bully. Do not, under any circumstances, let him back into your home. AITA. Not the asshole. If your child were any older I would argue your brother-in-law just sucks at humor and was trying to do a little ribbing. My girlfriend has an 8-year-old and I would absolutely try the joke on him so he can roll his eyes at me. But 2? Come the hell on. Not the asshole. Could you clarify, was your child crying and then he said we're best friends now? AITA. Hess lucky his bro didn't get Papa Bear on him. Not the asshole. Up. If your Bill is any older than 3, There's no excuse for his behavior. Bullying a 2-year-old and making her cry? He can stay away until he grows the hell up. Not the asshole. Unless the bill is under 10. But it doesn't sound that way, so yeah, he's being a jerk to a child just because he thinks he can. Good on your husband for actually backing you too. Did not expect that, given the way these posts usually go. Not the asshole and you misspelled protective. Not the asshole and props to your partner for backing you up.